Hello there, so in today's video I'm going to be talking about assets. While most people are taught go to school, get good grades, get a good job and earn money that way, the rich get richer with the clever use of assets, and in today's video I'm going to be explaining how assets can make you wealthy. If you're new to this channel, welcome. My name's Andy and on this channel I like to talk about money and success. If you're interested in making, saving and investing money, please be sure to hit that subscribe button down below, hit the notification bell, and then you get notified every time I release a new video. And if you enjoy this video and find it useful, please do remember to hit the thumbs up because that helps YouTube algorithm, which in turn helps me, and I do appreciate it. So what are the best assets? Well, before we answer that question, let's first look at what an asset is from an accounting point of view. In financial accounting, an asset is an item of property owned by a person or company regarded as having value and available to meet debts, commitments, or legacies. So that's an accountant's view of an asset. Now, from an investor's point of view, it's slightly different, and that's really what we're interested in. Investors, on the other hand, would be looking for one or two things. Either they're looking for capital gain, so the value of the item increasing, or they're looking for an income from the item, the asset that they have acquired, created, purchased. Because that's the thing, you don't just buy assets, you can create an asset as well. So you could create a business and that would be an asset for you. You could create a YouTube channel and that would be an asset for you. You could create a website or an online blog and that would be an asset for you. And if you're interested in ideas for assets, let me know in the comments down below and maybe I will create a list of assets that you can create for free, because there are absolutely tons of them. I've done it many times myself and get income, residual income as a result, and those assets also have a value, which means I could sell them if I wanted to. But that aside, let's carry on. So we've got a capital gain or an income. So let's look at the benefits of each of those types of asset for starters, and then we'll talk a little bit more about assets after that. So why would an investor want a capital gain? Well, the benefits there would be the tax could be deferred. They can grow very, very quickly. If you think of some stocks and shares where people have bought a stock for $25 and then it's suddenly worth $2,500, that's a massive, massive gain. And that has happened in many circumstances. Think of the Tesla share, for example, literally rocketed in price. And there are many shares that have rocketed in price. So stocks and shares give the ability for rapid capital gain. But so does property, so do other asset classes such as, for instance, cryptocurrencies. If you'd have bought Bitcoin not that long ago, it would have rocketed and made you very wealthy now. Now, I'll be honest, I don't invest in Bitcoin. I like income generating assets. But for the people who were going for the capital gain, wow, didn't they win out there? If you're already in a high tax bracket, you may not want to increase your income because it may just mean that a big chunk of that income gets paid in tax. Whereas with capital gain, you don't pay it until you realise it. And by realise it, that means sell the asset. So you can increase your net worth and your value, your wealth if you like, without actually having to pay tax by having it done that way. That's certainly how it stands at the moment, until such time as they bring in a wealth tax and tax you just for owning things. It's also good for wealth preservation. So another reason people would buy assets would be to preserve wealth. So gold would be a good example of that, because it's an actual tangible thing. And in relation to an actual currency, such as the British pound or the US dollar or the Australian dollar or the euro, gold will generally, over the long run, go up in value, as will things like oil and silver and tangible assets, commodities essentially, things that are needed, that have an actual value. And the reason they appear to go up in value, if you like, in relation to the currencies is because the banks keep printing more of the currencies. So the Bank of England is printing more pounds, the Bank of America is printing, or the Fed as they call it over there, the Fed is printing more US dollars, and that, because that supply is being increased, in real terms, the value of those currencies is decreasing. And that is continually happening. If you think back to when you were a child, how much things cost. You know, when I was a kid, a packet of crisps would be 10 pence. Now it's £1. You know, a Mars bar would be 10 pence. Now it's £1. It's the price, it's tenfold increase. That is inflation for you, and that is the devaluing of the currency. It's not that a Mars bar is actually worth any more than it was all like them years ago. It's simply that the currency has gone down in value against the Mars bar, if that makes sense. And that is the same for everything. So that's why tangible assets, we talk about gold, I talk about silver, we talk about oil, that's why they appear to go up in value in relation to the currency, as does the Mars bar. So let's now talk about income. Income generating assets. Well, they give a regular income. The income can grow over time, and it can replace your job and allow you to retire. Income generating assets are my favourite type of asset, but of course you can have both, and generally speaking an income generating asset will give a little bit of capital appreciation. Take for example buying houses. That's something I've done heavily. If you've seen my video where I spoke about being a landlord recently, then you will know that already. I own lots of properties. Now those properties that I bought years ago are now worth many thousands more than they were when I bought them. So I've had a capital gain on that money that I invested, and in fact that capital gain has been leveraged because I only put a small deposit down and most of it was borrowed money, so my capital gain actually would be huge in terms of return on my initial investment. But in addition to that, I've also had an income from the rent as well. Now then obviously not everybody has enough money to initially invest in property, but you could start by investing in stocks and shares. I've made many videos about investing in stocks and shares. I'll put a link up there and in the description down below to a playlist of dividend stocks that I have reviewed. If you were to invest in a dividend stock, you can do that very cheaply. There's some dividend stocks you can invest in for as little as $10 and they will give you an income. And if you want a regular monthly income like you would get for rent or like you get from your job, I've actually made videos about that as well. In fact, I'll put a link to another video up there and in the description down below to a video I made about how to make $1,000 a month from dividend stocks. And obviously anyone can do that, and in that video it will show you how much money you would need to be able to do that. Now if you want to make a different amount of money, I've actually made a retirement calculator, and I made a video about that as well where I give the retirement calculator away for free, where you can literally plug the numbers in there, work out what your lifestyle costs, and then you can literally, once you've got that number, you can work it out backwards using the retirement calculator to see how much you would need invested at what rate to be able to retire. So if you're interested in that, again I'll put a link up there to that and in the description down below. So there you go. I can't give you much better quality content than that, can I now? But yeah, in terms of assets, I like to have high quality assets that will go up in value, but specifically that will give me an income. I don't buy any asset that doesn't give me an income. So I'm not invested in gold, I'm not invested in any cryptocurrencies, I'm not invested in silver. Now I may live to regret that. There are people out there making very good money on all of those asset classes. But me personally, the way I like to do it is I like to make sure that every year I make more money than I did the year before. And when I initially started, my entire objective was to become financially free. I wanted to make enough money from passive income from my investments to not have to work in a day job. Now I achieved that by the age of 29, which was a while back. I had hair back then. But once you get to that level, I was then like, oh, actually I want to earn a bit more. So I just continued. And I fully expect that the majority of people watching this video will be in that position and will also be looking for the income side of things. So I suspect that the income generation would be more important to you. But of course, if it's not, if you're already super high rate tax earner and you're thinking, oh my god, every time I earn some money my tax rate is through the roof, then obviously look at the capital gain type investment, because that will protect you from that somewhat, yet allow you to grow your wealth. Anyway, that's it for today's video. I hope you found it useful. Thank you so much for watching. Have a nice day and bye bye.